What's up there, YouTube friends? Cheddar here, back with another video. First off, I hope you are doing well. I hope you have a good day, and I hope everything is going well for you. Thank you very much for joining me for this video. This is a quick review of a new musical album by Kim Deal. This is Kim Deal's first solo album. Kim Deal is the original bass player for the band Pixies. Pixies are pretty famous for, they're pretty famous for a few reasons, but their very notable song is probably Where Is My Mind, which is shown at the end of Fight Club and other places as well. Kim Deal is also the bassist for the band The Breeders, but currently, this year, 2024, she made her first solo record, and I've been going through that, and I wanted to share just a bit of a small review of that album. The album is a pretty tight experience. It's 35 minutes long, so you can go through it really quickly, and there's quite a bit of variety to it. It is a rock album, very much in the vein of similar to Pixies, where it has a garage rock style sound, not as raw and as crazy as Pixies, more introspective, more refined. A lot of the music is what I would describe as simple but effective. It's a very good, easygoing listening to rock, easygoing rock. For me, the album sort of sounds like a mix of between Cage the Elephant and Arcade Fire, where you get this kind of goofy garage rock that's a bit off the wall. Some things feel kind of off time or weird or awkward, but it's intentional. And then with Arcade Fire, you get the kind of gentle, introspective, moody, I don't want to say sad rock, more, moody rock. So this album really blends those kind of worlds together, and I think it's very successful overall. I'm very happy with this album. I'm pretty addicted to it, where every time I'm taking, just going outside for a walk, or if I'm just doing a task, I really like putting on this album right now, and it's a very good album. There are 11 tracks. There are 3 songs that I don't care for that much, but most of the tracks are very enjoyable, and I don't know if I have what I would call a home run or a signature track, which is where it's like an artist defining song. It'd be like your most favorite song from that artist, right? I'm not sure if I am getting that from this album. It doesn't feel in a way groundbreaking, but everything is very effective, and it's just a fun, easygoing album to listen to. The album starts off with the first track, Nobody Loves You More, which is the title track of the album, is pretty good. It is really good, actually. It's just it's not going to pull you into the album with a heavy force, right? It's kind of a gentle track, and for me, I actually like how I like hearing the album is how I like hearing that song is hearing through the album, basically starting at song number 2, hearing through the album, and then hearing Nobody Loves You More as the last song. I kind of tend to do that right now, and I just like how it ends. Anyway, the next song number 2, Coast, is one of my favorites off the album. It feels very much like Cage the Elephant. I don't want to say, when I say that, I don't mean Kim Deal is copying Cage the Elephant. I'm just saying what it reminds me of. I'm trying to give you something similar to kind of compare it to, and it feels like this goofy garage rock, I guess is how I would describe it. And there's some horns in Coast, and I always like when there's a ska or horn element to it. So in Coast, I really like. The third track, Crystal Breath, is also pretty crazy. It's kind of like that Cage the Elephant vein too, where it's just kind of off the wall. I really like Crystal Breath and Coast. They're 2 of my favorite tracks on the album. The track number 4 is called Are You Mine? And for me, I didn't really like the song. It feels like one of those sad, moody Christmas songs, and I don't really like Christmas songs. Okay, I don't really like Christmas music. I'm very, very peculiar or particular on the Christmas songs that I even enjoy. I basically, this is my least favorite song on the album, Are You Mine, track number 4. That one and one other track. Track number 5 is called Disobedience. This is another kind of like Cage the Elephant, kind of like Pixies. You know, you have these, and I know those two are similar also, but where you have this off the wall rock, right? And it's musically, I feel like everything's really fun. You're not going to get groundbreaking music, but again, simple and effective. What's there are simple sounds, but it's all really fun, and it's makes me think, you know, when I'm listening to the album and just going for a walk, basically. Track number 6 is called I Wish I Was. This song, it's a gentle track, and I like this one too. It's a nice change of pace that I don't think number 4 got the job done. Number 4, that track, Are You Mine, just feels like it interrupts the flow of the album for me. And track number 6, you know, as opposed to track number 4, is works better, right? I like track number 6, which is called Wish I Was, a lot. One of my favorites is the next song too, track number 7, called Big Ben Beat. One of the weirdest songs, it might be the weirdest song on the album. It's kind of aggressive. It has these really aggressive songs, and it feels like one of the aggressive Pixie songs in a way. But yeah, that track's super fun. So I guess if I had to pick my favorites, well, I'll go over that later, right? I'm going down the album. Track number 8 is called Bats in the Sky. This is kind of an interlude track. This one is it's one of the few skips for me too. So my 3 skips are You Mine, Bats in the Sky. We'll have another one coming up. Summerland is track number 9. I like this one a lot. This is another gentle track that is my favorite gentle track on the album. It's very, very pleasant to hear. Track number 10, called Come Running. The song's okay sometimes, but basically I'm skipping this track a lot of the time too. I gotta be in a really good mood. If I've heard this song in the right mood, I'm like, okay, I see what she's doing, but I'm still not loving it. It's just a weird, kind of a meditative track. When I say meditative, I mean it sounds like someone's doing some weird meditation in the woods or something, and it sounds it's just kind of weird to me. So and I don't mean that in any offensive way. I just mean it's hard for me to put on that song and feel, you know, I just feel awkward every time I'm hearing that song. So for the most part, those are the 3 skips: Are You Mine, Bats in the Afternoon Sky, and Come Running. The last track, which is track number 11, A Good Time Pushed, that's a really good track too. Very good ending note, and it just cycles back into track number 1. Excellent, just awesomely. So I really like this album a lot. I know there's a couple skips on it, and there's not a home run track, which I guess if I had to ask for something more in the album, I would ask for some track that like really blew me away, just something to make me really, just one track that's almost like a hit, you know, one track that's like you know, a Beat It or something, like Beat It for Michael Jackson, or, you know, something else where Michael Jackson had other hits too, I know. I just mean that a big song, you know, that makes me love it. But it's just a super pleasant album to listen to if you're in an easy rock mode. And there's a couple skips on it, right? But I'm really happy with this album. I kind of struggle on where to rate it, because in a way, with how much I'm listening to it, I think it's an A, but at the same time, my normal qualifiers for an A, where I should have at least one of my favorite tracks, a signature track, and that's hard to say because I know it's her first album, but I still don't feel like I'm getting that need, you know, fulfilled. And there's just, you know, there's 3 of the 11 songs are, you know, skips, which isn't a huge deal. I'm more forgiving of that. I just really wanted some kind of signature track on here. You know, that would make me super love this album. So I'm struggling to either give this album an A- or a B+. It sits right in that area, right? So I'm kind of hooked on this album right now, and I feel like I should give it an A-, but it doesn't usually meet the qualifiers that I would say. The qualifier, the big one being a signature track, right? That's when I go through albums, that's what I really look for, is a signature track. And I sort of get that on here. But at the same time, I do feel like I've heard familiar sounds, right? I feel like I've heard these sounds before and I'm not blown away like something with an A. And I feel like I should be struggling to, with an A album, I usually say like, man, is this an S tier? And I know it's an A and I'm struggling to give it, an S. I'm not sure I'm feeling that way about this album. So I'm going to just solidify it for right now. B plus is what I will give this album, B plus. But I'm really hooked on it. It's a pretty addicting, easygoing album. So I recommend it too. So if you have not heard Nobody Loves You More by Kim Deal, go check it out. Let me know, what you think about it too. That's cool too. Let me know if you have any input. If you're a Pixies fan, let me know too. I should make a Pixies tier list sometime. I love Pixies. So, but yeah, this is about Kim Deal, and I'm excited to see what else she makes. This album is awesome. So that's it for this review. I appreciate your time. I hope you have a great day. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Goodbye.